Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Ansar Gilani, English commentator at the Entire Sports, instructor at the Intercultural Studies, Social Sciences, English Literature and International Relations. The introduction that I am giving nowadays is largely looks to be multi-directional kind of ones where intercultural studies are also included. Social sciences element is also there. English literature that has largely participated in the human civilizations into reaching of the modern cults of life, as well as international relations is concerned. That is being, you can say, globalized in the modern sense. Whenever we say, when we put a question, what is westernization, what is globalization, and what is industrialization, and what is civilization? So I bring something change over here at the perspective of international relations and at the civilization of the international relations. We can bring something more into the society to make a new trending or a new setting of the minds. Right from, you can say, beginning of the human race, as Adam was the first man who stepped into the world and started looking around and learn the ways of the world, and he made the human being as to how to be adaptable, acceptable, and adjustable in the wider span of the universe. He was the first entry into this world of the vacant planet, where rest of things, all ones which were created created for the service of the human being. Human being or man was, you can say, created on the image of Almighty Allah. Allah is the creator of the universe, Allah is the creator of the human being, and Allah is the creator of all beings and all things which are present, like sceneries of the world, greeneries of the world, and landscapes of the world, and valleys of the world, and mountains are there, rocks are there, rivers are there, seas are there, and beauties are there, birds are there, animals are there. This all around surround setting surely was made for the adding of the beauties for that being that was the cause of the creation as human being. So all of the rest of the creations were created for adding the beauty and the, you can say, somewhat making recreatory elements or instruments for the whole machinery of the universe. But the dearest and the nearest and the closest one being was the lovest one, and the belovedest one being was the human being. So it took start from Adam and then kept on multiplying, and we are in the modern age. And this is all where we are present in the modern age. So here we are having the right cause to talk on the modern trending. Modern trending is surely reaching at such a point of discussion where we are standing as human being at the crossroad of the human race, or crossroad of the human society. The modern society, uh, traveling millions and billions of the years journey, finally stepping into such a zone of life where people are becoming highly aware of their individual personas and collective personas, and individually and collectively, societically and sociologically and economically and politically and ideologically and technologically and scientifically, and what we could more say about human rights, they are becoming highly aware of. And a flood is coming for last 100 years or 200 years of awareness, and people are rising, movement are rising in the world, and people are becoming more and more aware, and the journey that took start from cave age, stepping into the industrial age, rather into agricultural age, and agriculture to the industrial age, and now into the information age and to the science and technology, where people are becoming aware of how to maintain themselves physically and intellectually and on the visionary basis. And first time in this modern age, this is the age of science and technology and age of intellect, and intellect particularly, and people are becoming that we are not only the physical beings, we are not only the composition of material pursuits and intentions, rather we are something other being, and that other being is present inside of us. And if that other being that is present inside of us, that is intellectual being, if that is arisen, a person become aware of is or its frailties and efficiencies and deficiencies, and becomes more and more aware about his frailties and efficiencies and deficiencies and his objectivities, and his cause of coming into the world is not only to live for a being or for a shorter time, and to eat, drink and be merry is the object of life, is not the only object of the human being. Those people who are individually awakened inside, either they are of any caste and color and region and the religion and the culture and the territory and the geography they belong, they are the part of the main cosmos. Main cosmos mean in an organized way we are all human beings, and we are all a society. Borders and differences at provinces and regional level, and at the any whatever it you can say distributes us and divides us and puts us into different sections of the society. Apart from how to manage and execute the life, all classification and stratification and putting the people into brackets, that this is from upper class, this is from lower class, and this is from middle class. This is all the human mindsets that were present in the past. And past, I would say, just it's the talk of 200 or 300, and particularly 14 and 1500 years ago, when Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam first time, you can say, awakened the whole human being, being Rahmatul Alameen, the mercy for all ages and for all human beings, and the torchbearer of the all human being, and the guider of the all human being, and particularly the making of aware of all human being, and particularly the rescuer of the all human beings. He was not only a prophet of preaching, you can say, how you are to be a rich man or a man of status, or how to be a distinctive person with the rest of the communities and classes on dint of your social strata, social surroundings, making homes of standard level, making surroundings of standard level, getting around of those people, those who will raise your image and glory. Rather, he tried to link the man with the Almighty Allah, to whom we were forgetting, living in the life of all colors, where all kinds of colors and varieties of life and attractions of life distract us, and we forget as to how we are to focus our foremost objectives of life, that is to know ourselves and to know others and to give yourself help and give the help to others. This was the main objective of the preaching and teachings of Holy Prophet, who was the perfect man, the topmost prismatic personality of the world and ever the universe have created for the object of entire and utter humanism or human being is to be lifted from the downtrodden strata of the life to make them reaching to the highest laurels of the society. So my object, as I am working on trend setting, and when I talk about intercultures and social sciences and international relations, my point of discussion or bringing the point of debate here is not international relations as to how the countries are to make investment into another countries, to make international relations on diplomatic grounds, how the superpowers are to confront and to combat with the lower ones and to exploit them and exploit their resources and grab their even intelligence and the highest brains that are present in a society without having some facilitation and protection and the sporting, you can say, devices that could lift them from the downtrodden and to reach to excellence and to be able to help out the human being at the large. So when I talk about, once again, international relation and social sciences, I mean to say in the present age people are becoming aware of their rights, and when people become aware of their rights they become fire, they become boiling beings inside, they become, you can say, a blasting ones, and they become the figures of explosive capability and potency and quality and you can say compatibility even it comes with. So in today's world where people are becoming aware of their rights because the information technology, internet and electronic media and even print media and the gadgets that are rightfully coming to the world in a so fast way, making the people aware and breaking their cultures and mindsets that were based on bracketed kind of psychology as to how they are to take the people as their property, to make them slaves by controlling their resources, because at the power of ideas, wherever we went through the human civilizations as a human race, either it was the Greek or the Roman empires or the Persian empires, or sometimes the British empires, even Islamic empires, even the German rise, even the Italian rise, and wherever the civilizations have been rising, they have been, you can say, working on the high-powered ideas, and they transport their high-powered ideas with weaponization, and they started, you can say, conquering their neighboring countries, and they kept on extending their hands towards to the weaker nations and weaker countries and weaker generations, which were not rich at the minds and intellectualities. It is rightfully said that whenever a new civilization comes, colonial power to colonize the weaker nations and weaker generation. First of all, they try to control the brains of the any nation. They harass them. They make them sick at the minds and sick at the approaches. And when they are able to control their minds, then their bodies are controlled. And when their minds are controlled, their bodies become under their control, and all of the people that become brainless, they become soldiers for them. They are not to play as a mind maker or a policy maker or a think tank. Rather, they become shelter to them, tool to them, and a source to them to make them help, rather, how to they could control at their country and rest of the bodies. So when minds of any country or the nations are controlled, bodies are controlled, because bodies become brainless. And those bodies, when are controlled after the minds, they become soldier for them, to fight for them, rather to fight for their individual right, as the right of every citizen or the person on planet Earth is to be independent one. So when minds are controlled, bodies are controlled. When bodies are controlled, then the resources of the nations are taken under control. And when the resources of the nations are taken under control, then the colonialists start, you can say, ending their brains and ending their resources, and start grabbing resources, start exploiting them, and injustice prevails there. So some of the cases from those nations are taken, but they become poodle for them. They become puppet for them, because when the nation become brainless and resourceless and bodiless, they become just balloons before them, and wherever they will give the air, they will start flying and will float in the desire of the governors or the rulers of the country and the state. Basically, they are coming from the foreign and they are occupying their resources, and then they start making different kinds of stratification and classification in the societies. So, as international relations, Myanmar is considered that people are looking around and viewing around the whole world on screen, and they are becoming aware of what and which one society is better one society. That society works for the betterment of the human race, for the uplifting of their standards, uplifting of their intellectualities, uplifting of their, you can say, civilization, and respect for them. And respect is all time regarded and considered, that they are giving the values to their beings and the countrymen and the people living over there. So as far as international relation is concerned, one more point comes there, that people in the present age, they are fighting against the class system. And there is no concept of lower and the upper and the middle one, because in the international perspective, upper class and the lowest class have no class. They are classless, because they have no morality. The lowest one are struggling, and they are breaking away the moral standards and moral fabric of the society. And upper class, after getting all of the authorities and all of the executive support and administration and resources, they become grabber and exploiter of the rising classes. And they are also classless, because they have no morality as to how they are to uplift the people from the downtrodden and from the bottom, to help them out to reach to the excellence, as the moral, you can say, orders are the preachings of all prophets and sophists and the mystics have given, that man should be given their right to rise in life, and all ones be helping for each others. People, human beings, were created for to help out each other, not for to grab out the other one's resources. So when we talk about the awareness, awareness is coming as it is rightfully spreading like flood, and people are trying to get the minimum or maximum standard of living, and they are revolting against those mafias, pressure groups, industrialists, and colonialists, those who are not talking for their rights and the sanctity and integrity of the society, those who are not working for integrity and the you can say the revival of the human respect, they are going to revolt against them. No one in the present age is poor and ignorant if they have uh, knowledge of their rights. So deprivation mean when you are deprived of your rights, it's become the best syllabus for the people to rise in life. So we do not need to be much aware that awareness coming from the institutes and academic circles, and that is patronized in the schoolings and grooming, and colleges, universities are also working for them as to how they are to become professional and how to be adjustable in the modern trends and demands of the life. Rather, the better intellect and awareness is that you being the ignorant and poverty driven, you could be aware of what you are deprived of. When you are aware of what you are deprived of, you become a force, you become an entity that could break the fabric that is present upon us in a state of a pressure group or a monopolist. And pressure groups and monopolists and industrialists, when they are transformed into a group, they turn into political empowerment, and they reach on the parliament floor, and they become the grabber and the exploiter of the rising classes. So the object of stepping into politics is to protect other and facilitate other. And if reaching to the highest echelons of the society, I mean to say to the political setup and reaching at the political gambit or reaching at the parliament floor, if some tries to mount up the resources and mount up the reservoirs and start grabbing the you can say resources as to how he or she or they are to multiply multiply the resources and multiply the wealth, as to how they are to win the next one election and then after one election. This becomes a business. When you get the vote and you reach at the parliament floor on the dint of ballot force, but when you reach at the parliament floor, you turn your intentions and you become industrialist and business and money monger and money pursuiter or a power pursuiter, and you start making those section of the societies into your favor that are rich and the royal ones, and they become, you can say, power tools for the enhancement and the promotion of the government. So one must be aware of it, that every person who casts the votes has a power to reach out the representative of of the of the political party, either it's in the ruling class, in the ruling elite, or in the opposition. They have the right, that they have given the right to their you can say their representative, that they could rise for their rights. Coming into politics and coming into the parliament floor and coming into the ruling class, coming into the even government is not to mount up your resources and increase your political power, and how to empower and access your power and extend your arms to put down and push down and bulldoze those even have given votes to them. Even those who are in the, you can say, opposition, they should also has the right to rise for the rights of the people who are being ignored and being declared as the neglected section of the society. So, in the present age, no one is poor, no one is rich, no one is in the power, no one is powerless. So, brain is the power, ideas are the power, and awareness is the power. And if you are well aware, you can talk on, though you can't, you can say, pull the bells of the parliament or the rings of the parliament, or you can put down the secretariat down to dash to ground. Rather, you are to just raise the voice, and there a time comes when voice becomes a power, it becomes a fire, and it becomes a light, a guiding light for the rest of the people. So, as teachings of Islam, teachings of any religion that are based on right and wrong, you must aware of the right and wrong. You should not go diversified into the different interpretation of the religion, that the this point of the religion is stand for this one, interpretation of this one, you can say point comes for this and that one. We should come out of confusion driven kind of interpretation. Rather, we should keep the only eyes and mind fixed on what is right and what is wrong, what is halal and what is haram. When we come to know this one, and we can stand for our right. And every religion, either it is Christianity or Jews or Muslims or any organized religion of the world, that is to represent the main section of the society or the minor section of the society, is having somewhat right and wrong concepts cleared. And the topmost and foremost object of any religion is to not only to put them into prostration and recitation and for some of the set creeds and beliefs to be followed. Rather, the best creed and belief is to help the humanity, and because man was created one at one end to worship Almighty Allah, to pay thanks to Him, and at other he was made indispensable and interdependent for the rest of the people, going beyond the class and color and any kind of beliefs. Beliefs are just to know yourself and know your nearest and dearest one. Beliefs are not the demarcating line and dividing line that people are divided on basis of religion and beliefs. Rather, beliefs mean, as Emily Dickinson says, every society selects its own strengths, or every soul selects its own society. So it's every soul selects its own society to make a better moving in the society and living in a better peaceful way. That could be at contentment and satisfaction of the heart and mind, but best satisfaction could only come when people go for others. They help for each others for the betterment of others, and then they come to know when we are fulfilling our needs and demands, and why not we should think of others, that they also think like us, as we demand something and desire something. In the same way, other one is also having heart and mind and wishes and the driving instincts and motives that are working for all of us to come out of our cruelty sections and to be coordinated and supporting for others. So social sciences mean as to how we are to patronize the behaviors of other people, patronize the thinking mechanism of the other people, that formerly or in the generation to generation or centuries to centuries people have been thinking that all the human race was all the journey of the classes clash, and upper class, middle class and lower class have been clashing each other for the basis of economy and better standard to make on. But over here, my vision is that people must not be considered or declared as a status mark, and as a class wise, rather their class must come on the moral fabric, their character, their intention and approaches for other beings, for rest of the humanity. So the so the so the international relation mean in the present world we are watching the world, we are watching the culture and religion and the countries and their adjustabilities and abilities and acceptabilities and what not and what not. That is all coming on the screen, and every country and every being and every citizen living in every any part of the world, they are living on their individual scopes. But three things that shelter everyone needs, food everyone needs, clothing everyone needs. This is international vision, that these three things are need of every living being or human beings, particularly human race. Rest of all things as to how we are to be interdependent and helping to for others to be better managers. So today's object was to give a bit light on what is awareness and what awareness could do, and how you can say the world is transforming into new realities, and new realities and facts are appearing with awareness and human rights awareness, and they are to rise for their rights, not single-handedly, rather they are to raise their voice and at the individual level and at the collective needing of others, and in this way 1 into 2 and 2 into 3 and 4 and 5, and then a section of move comes and people start claiming their rights. So it need not to break the mirrors or to break the you can say transports barrages, rather it's to rise for their right and to knock the door of courts, knock the doors of the parliament, knock the doors of media, knock the doors of their highly concerned and dearest and dear ones resources, and they are to work together for betterment of their individual as well as of the whole society. No one is at the state of nothingness. Something is there that turns into everything later. Thank you very much.